shirt?
Oh, it's Hope for a Better Tomorrow.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
yeah.
thanks.
You should probably block out the Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that's not getting a lot of good looks.
Yeah, you should just keep that part of the shirt.
Yeah, I'm a big Mel Gibson fan still.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think you're gonna have to enjoy what he did in the past.
It's cool. I'll hide it.
Yeah.
But can you talk about what you showed today?
Yeah. So today we showed a 2-minute clip from the movie where we put together a whole sequence, like a teaser trailer, that featured some key highlights that we're ready to show.
Yeah.
We're in the process. We just finished shooting 9 weeks ago. We just had got our visual effects started 3 weeks ago. So this was something that we wanted to make specifically for this, and for the last few weeks we've all been the Summit Marketing and Tim Summerfield and my editing team have all been working together to put this together.
Cool. And can you talk a little bit about the tone of the movie?
The tone of the movie is again it's encompassed by the word drive angry. Tonally, it is very much High Plains Drifter meets Race with the Devil and Vanishing Point, and Dirty Mary, Crazy Larry, and all those great road movies. That's the tone we wanted to do. We wanted to make something that was hardcore and violent and intense, but fun. We wanted it to be a fun movie. We wanted it to be a real roller coaster that you had a fun time watching this film. And that was key. And the whole thing is all the action, everything else is the attitude of the film.
Yeah.
Finding something that's a fun movie to watch.
So it's gonna be like one of those midnight movies that I wrote.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Yeah. And can you talk about do you take it? I mean, I don't want to say do you take it seriously. I mean, the movie itself.
Absolutely, you take it seriously because.
I'm not talking about making the movie, but like the film.
No,
itself.
the film itself and the story everything's played straight. There are lots of humorous things in it, but they come out of the character. They don't come out of like the situation. They're not like jokey for the sake of being jokey.
Yeah.
Nick's character has a true and noble mission that has genuine jeopardy, and has a real risk and real consequences if he fails. So by virtue of that, there's a total seriousness and gravity and weight to it. That being said, there are a host of bizarre characters that he meets along the way, but every character, no character exists for the sake of just being funny or this
or getting killed.
Yeah, or getting killed. No, everybody has their own journey, from the smallest character to the largest character. Everyone you meet along the way is somebody you will remember.
Yeah.
We wrote it very specifically. Todd Farmer and I wrote that very specifically with that moment.
Yeah, I just heard you saying to Wilm how every character has their moment. So when you're writing a script, do you think that let's not have just one throwaway character?
Absolutely. Yeah, I know. We wanted to make sure that all the characters had something.
Yeah.
That there was something special to them, so that. Because there's also a ton of characters and a lot of speaking parts in the movie, because it's a road movie and you encounter lots of people on the way, we wanted to separate them. We wanted people to have individual and unique voices and make sure that was prominently displayed throughout the film.
Yeah. Yeah, and one of the things I brought up to Nick at the end of the conference, how I just love how he swings for the fences every time. So I was wondering, can you just talk about what his performance, what's that going for?
I think for Nick, the big thing that he brings to Milton is a combination of this hard-edged, ruthless, relentless badass, but has a humanity, has an emotional drive, has something that the audience can connect with, that you can identify with, is sympathetic. Even with his ruthless, self-centered nature in the story, you are totally on his side. You completely see the level of violence that he engages in is justified, and you embrace his journey.
Yeah.
And Nick brings that. In the hands of another actor, you may not get that. You may get something that's colder and harder to connect with.
Or middle of the road.
Yeah, but because Nick is such an amazing actor and has such control over what he does, if you look at the incredibly wide range of his performances, everything he does, he commits 500%, and is always surprised to see how he embodies that, and often it's can be very simple, but he's so dedicated and so focused. He's just we were so fortunate to have him embrace our film and be part of it.
Yeah, but so Milton's not going to be like the clean cut hero who's going to save the day. Like you get to see him like a darker side.
Milton is a badass motherfucker. Through and through.
That's the quote for the interview.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Are you looking forward to dealing with the MPAA?
This Valentine, we had some MPA challenges, but Valentine being a very hard horror movie, there was different challenges to face. This shouldn't be as problematic as that, I
Yeah.
hope. There are some extreme moments, but they come more out of action and less, and not out of a horror intensity, but more of an action intensity.
Yeah.
So that should give us, we're hoping, an edge.
Yeah. That seems to be like one of the things with the MPAA. Like, it seems to be the tone is what they're worried about.
Tone is a huge thing.
Yeah.
A huge thing. We do have another sort of massive sex scene in the movie.
Excellent.
But it's the tone of that scene is not about sex. It's about something else, and by virtue of that, it is tremendously fun. So we're hoping that they embrace the magic to which we present them.
Yeah. And one of the things that was cool about Bloody Valentine, because that's such a fun movie, is the kills. I was wondering, like, and this is actually a serious question, but how do you go about staging your kills?
It's something that Todd Farmer and I, we sit around and we talk about different things. We come up with different scenarios. On Valentine, Gary Tunnicliffe worked with us, and he had a little document of death of all the different ways you can kill somebody with a pickaxe. On this, Gary worked on this again, and we talk about different things we do. A lot of the violence in this is gun violence. There are some very specialized guns that do a very specific things that even the length and breadth of the power you don't even totally see. And by virtue of that, the violence that it engages can be more extreme. That part is a lot of it comes out of situations, a lot of it comes out of the location, a lot of it comes out of with the actors, the stunt team, everything like that, and trying to keep that as inventive and exciting as possible.
Yeah.
And Nick is so proficient. He's done so many action movies. He's always great at saying, "Oh, hey, what if I did this or did that?" We've come up with a variety of different things to do.
Yeah. And earlier I was looking at some of the concept art, was like fantastic. So I was wondering, how is that going to reflect what's on screen? Is that going to be very similar?
You know what? If you look at the concept art, Nathan Amundsen, who's our production designer, is amazing. His goal is always that the concept art matches the movie, and it does.
Wow.
When you see the film, that concept art you will see embodied in the film. One of the the whole end of the teaser trailer we show, there's a Chevelle flying over a wall and crashing through a giant flaming pentagram. That scene didn't really originally work that way. It was the concept art. When they drew it, they had the car coming over the wall that way at this flaming thing. Originally, he entered in a different way. And then we were like, oh, shit, that's, the art then changed the script because it was so powerful and strong.
And what I took from the stills is that, like, it's going to have, like, a very moody, surreal atmosphere. So can you talk about what you're going with the mood of the film?
Yeah, I mean, it's a movie that starts as sort of very warm at the beginning, the parts that take place in Colorado, and as the journey goes and they get closer and closer to destination, the goal was to make it more and more hell on earth sort of thing, and have it be more of the hot and cold and that literally it's either burning in fire or blue and freezing, and have those intermixed. Brian Pearson, our director of photography, had mapped out this whole look. The two of us went through it. That it's so powerful in the film and the nature of the journey that Nick's character goes on.
It seems to have a very raw atmosphere.
Yeah, and again we also look back at those 70 films and talked about some of the spare, very clever way those things manage themselves.
And since you know 3D so well, I was talking about this yesterday. Like when you're shooting the action scenes, it's very difficult to do 3D when you're like running around with the camera. So how did you go about shooting the action scenes so when you get to the 3D room, it's going to be all comprehensible and it's going to work?
We had this brilliant stereographer, Max Penner from Paradise Effects, who helped us map out the 3D so that we could know when we're going to be aggressive, know when we're going to be handheld or very aggressive Steadicam, know when we're going to be cutting very fast. There's a massive handheld sequence in the middle of the film that intercuts with all these crazy driving things at the same time, and it was all designed. It was shot in 3D to be edited a very specific way. So it's all about planning. Okay. So that you reverse engineer it so that at the end of the day, when you see it all together in 3D, you won't rip anybody's head off.
Cool. My final question for you, just to get people excited for the movie, who's watching this, can you give an example of a really nice kill you're proud of?
In this film, yes. And Drive Angry.
This will get people excited.
There's so many great and wonderful.
It's like asking what's your favorite part of heaven.
Yes, what's your favorite part of heaven? Well, in heaven, when they kill, one of the first kills in the movie is Nick's character goes after these three guys who are only referred to in the script as the fuckers, and he dispatches them in such short order. But one of them comes at him swinging a crowbar, and the first thing he does is blow his hand off. And then proceeds to engage in more mayhem after that. But that sequence is great. There's so many great sequences. It's hard to pick a favorite.
Cool. Sounds awesome, Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay, so much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Appreciate it.